Ladies and gentlemen, this is Politico. Bannon makes last-minute offer to testify to January committee ahead of criminal contempt trial. The offer cited an accompanying letter from former President Donald Trump purporting to waive executive privilege over his longtime ally's testimony. So, there was almost certainly some type of executive privilege, but the rebuttal from Democrats and media is, well, he wasn't in the Oval Office. He wasn't working for Trump for so long. He hadn't been working for Trump for a long time, and so therefore didn't need executive privilege. Well, then why do you want to speak to the man? If he was so far removed from the White House, from the Oval Office, why would you want to speak to him? Okay, the goal of this is not to find out if Trump, and regardless of what you hear, this never happened, tried to overthrow the United States government. That's absurd. Okay, he used the word peaceful. Yes, it's true that they should never have taken place, but Ted Cruz had an interaction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation official. And I noticed that Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney aren't talking about the interaction, the testimony under oath, okay? Apparently, there might have been, perhaps, let's just say, government officials alongside all the people who wanted to undermine American democracy. Because if there were government officials, so the Federal Bureau of Investigation employee stated, Senator Cruz, we can't discuss sources and methods. And then Ted Cruz said, well, how many officials did you have there? Can you give me a number of how many? And then the response was, we can't discuss sources and methods. So Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and media and Democrats, there's very likely a whole lot that they either don't know or that they're not telling the American public. Very likely. I'm not making a specific accusation. I am saying if a government official is hiding behind sources and methods, there's probably more to the answer than, no, there were no government officials there. The answer from Ted Cruz to that bureau official could have been, there were none. End of story. If the answer was there were none, then then there wouldn't be a Pandora's box of issues pertaining to all of this. But here, Trump wrote a letter which is hilarious, an absolutely hilarious letter, and they keep saying, oh, it's an absurd claim that he's invoking executive privilege. Why would he need to with Bannon? Bannon hadn't been there for years. So then why do you need to speak to Bannon? I mean, it's like each one of their rebuttals points back to the absurd theatrical performance, the performance art of what's taking place. There was no predicate crime. There was no that Trump is linked to. Trump did not tell anyone to commit a crime, nor did he pay for anyone to commit a crime, nor did he organize anyone to commit a crime. Okay? The Attorney General of D.C., the Mayor of D.C., Merrick Garland, local police, nobody ever, congressional police, nobody ever accused Trump of committing a crime that day. 2 years later, about a year and a half later, they then have a show trial trying to accuse Trump of organizing an attempt to take over American democracy. Anyway, this is a hilarious letter he writes. And by the way, I'll have a live stream tonight on this channel at 9 p.m. So go ahead, definitely be here for the live stream at 9 p.m. Pacific. Subscribe to the Bitcoin 10K, oil prices 150 Recession channel, and also, very important segment on the nuclear confrontation and stock market crash channel. I have 3 channels. Subscribe to all 3. To my Patreons, thank you. To my new Patreons, if you want to support my work, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment and description. If you want to give a super thanks to this, the super thanks is below. Thank you so very much. Stephen K. Bannon, Dear Steve, I write about the subpoena that you received in September 2021 from the illegally constituted Unselect Committee. The same group of people who created the Russia scam, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the Mueller witch hunt, which ended in no collusion, and other fake and never-ending yarns and tales. This is why half the electorate will vote for Trump, okay? When people, in addition to the fact that he opposes Lincoln Project foreign policy, that's why I voted for him, and along with other reasons, he's a great president. We had an amazing economy, fact, and we had a great foreign policy. Doha Agreement, which completely reversed Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy, and Kerry, Clinton, and Biden foreign policy. But in President Obama foreign policy, you had one person reverse 20 years of failed U.S. foreign policy, of interventions, regime changes, quagmires, counterinsurgency conflicts. That was Trump. He did that with the Doha Agreement, which Biden completely botched. Those 13 Americans should be alive today. Those 100 Afghans should be alive today. But the foreign policy, that's what a president, that's something a president can directly, can directly impact with his decisions. Okay, sometimes doesn't need Congress. Oftentimes doesn't need Congress. And so you compare today's foreign policy to Trump's, and it's like all Democrats and mashed potato brains want to do is continue the hostilities. They want to just ensure that the geopolitical nightmare in Europe takes place forever. They don't want any end to it. Anyway, so that's the moral imperative. That's why you vote for Trump as opposed to mashed potato brains. And we're seeing right now with the economy 8 to 9% inflation, gas prices through the roof, recession. We're heading towards a devastating. I already called the stock market crash in September of 2021. We're in the first inning. We are going to see a complete collapse, unfortunately, and the economy is going to get worse. But here, when you first received the subpoena to testify to provide documents, I invoked executive privilege. However, I watched how unfairly you and the others have been treated to spend vast amounts of money on legal fees and all the trauma you must be going through for the love of your country. So here he goes. Why should evil, sinister, and unpatriotic people be allowed to hurt and destroy the lives of so many and cause such great harm to our country? It's been a long time since I came back from the escalator at Trump Tower, a political hit job against the overwhelming majority of Americans who support the concept of policy and policy of making America great again and putting America first. Good luck with all your future endeavors. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump. Okay, so he waived executive privilege. Bannon can now testify. The rebuttal is, well, there was no reason to waive executive privilege. Well, then why do you want to speak to Bannon? Was there a crime that he was a part of? Because there wasn't. This was an example of a peaceful demonstration that got out of hand, violent, and criminal. Where have we seen that before? Oh, that's right. Every single day that summer. I support the cause that summer. But I don't support $1 to $2 billion in property damage. And 19 lives lost, according to Wikipedia. How do you differentiate? This is another reason why people don't understand why, half the electorate votes for Trump, almost half. How do you differentiate between an entire summer of $1 to $2 billion in property damage with federal buildings targeted also in major cities, where a CNN journalist is in front of a building in flames? How do you differentiate between a whole summer, every single day of curfews in major cities? You had peaceful demonstrations that got out of hand. Yes, this is basic logic. Peaceful demonstrations where a tiny percentage of people committed crimes. That's pretty much what you had that fateful day in January. And you had an unarmed supporter of President Trump, female supporter, lose her life or have her life taken. I don't see anyone on the left caring. That's another reason. The immense and unbelievable hypocrisy is why no matter what President Trump says, or if he insults people, if he's mean, if he's boorish, if he's uncouth, people will still vote for him because they understand the side he's opposing is truly insidious. The side that he's opposing used a dossier against him and felt the dossier was raw intelligence, and then hyperventilates when any accusation against them based on actual evidence is leveled. Hunter's emails, 150 bank transactions deemed suspicious, voicemails, business money transactions, emails asking for favors and then favors given. I mean, they're caught red-handed, but still it's like, you can't prove anything. With Trump, well, you know what? We have a dossier that says he was in a hotel room. Let's investigate. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here for the live stream later tonight. And I will have another segment up on this channel and the two other channels, the Nuclear Confrontation and the Bitcoin 10K Oil Prices 150 channel. Thank you.